Okay. Shanae, let me introduce you to everyone that's in the room. We have Sean Binion, who's our co-host today. We have Corey,
hi, Shanae,
who works for the magazine, and Tisha, she's back. She's vice president of the magazine. So let's jump into this whole thing about this coronavirus and sex. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Is it safe to be getting our groove on right now?
Only if you were already domiciled with that person and both of you are negative for COVID-19. I mean, it's basically it. I mean, if you don't go see your booty call, don't go see your side thing, stay your ass in the house and learn yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
So if, like, let's say is there anything I could do to protect myself if I decide not to listen to your sound advice?
Yeah.
No. No.
I
mean, it's the same risk. It's the same risk that you take every day. This is just another disease. If you go out and you raw dog a homeless woman, you take the chance of getting something. You know,
that's like something Corey would do, raw dog a homeless woman.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. That's low.
Understand the risk you are taking when you go out and you try to socialize and be with people. If you share a common space, if you're married, y'all living together, and this is what you would normally do, great, do it. But otherwise, no. But then again, if you are with somebody and you're in the house and you've tested positive, you're supposed to self-quarantine away from the rest of the group so that you can get yourself better.
Right.
So no, don't. Sex is not that. I'm a sex coach. I advocate for sex, but it's not that important. It's not.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Let's say a guy just can't take it. He goes over and he keeps all his clothes on, right? He just takes his unit out. He's got on the gloves, he's got on the mask, but he's got all his clothes on. Is that a safe way to approach this deal?
No, it's by contact, brother. So that would classify as contact.
Well, I'm just saying, limited contact. I'm trying to help you out, man.
No, I would personally advise against that.
Gotcha. Now, I do have a question. I was just joking. You're absolutely right. Stay your ass at home. Forget about it. Self-serve. I don't know what you got to do, but stay home. Now, tell me, what exactly is a certified sex coach?
So, certified sex coach is somebody that has, like me, gone through an intensive coursework for about a year and a half to understand the issues and treatments that people can have related to sex and sexuality. So, anybody can call themselves anything they want. You can call yourself a personal trainer, but unless you've gone through the certification to be a personal trainer, then you're not certified. The reason why I distinguish certified versus licensed is because if you are a therapist, you need to be licensed through the state. A certification is through an organization where I went through Sex Coach University, and I have a membership with the World Association of Sex Coaches. And there's a organization called ASEC. There's boards that you can be members of, but you're not just somebody that says, "Oh, I'm going to just teach you how to have better sex." I have certifications.
Gotcha. So you're not just running around here just telling people what you think. It's stuff that you know.
I studied and I practiced.
Okay. And
so you and all kinds of person are professional.
Yes, I am definitely a professional.
You're a professional at sex.
I am not a professional sex worker.
No, I don't mean.
No, you're a professional.
There is a difference. I'm not a professional sex worker. There is a line.
I'm a professional sexer, we'll say.
Have you been certified though?
Okay.
I've been certified. Yeah.
You've been certified.
No, I haven't been certified. I'm self-certified. Now let me ask you this. Tell us some of the. Well, I know Sean had some questions for you. Sean, go ahead with your question.
Okay. As a sex coach, like, what do you get asked the most?
the biggest question is, am I normal? Everybody wants to know, am I off kilter when it comes to things that I'm interested in? And the answer is 99% of the time, yes, you're normal. Because normal is based off of what, society says that is supposed to be the norm, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody is into everything. You can find anything you want. Anybody is interested in something, and you will find somebody to connect with. So are you normal? Yes. The issue is trying to find someone or some people that are also interested in the same things that you are interested in.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Corey, do you have a question for our sex expert here? That's what we'll call it.
Sexpert. Our professional sexpert.
Right.
I guess my question would be when it comes to the ladies, right? A lot of ladies have said this. I haven't experienced this myself, by the way, but a lot of ladies have said this. Why is it so hard for ladies to achieve orgasm when it comes to sex?
So,
Jesus Christ, Corey.
Hey, you gotta get into it, bro. Get into it, man. That's what you hear.
It's difficult for women versus men because men had greater access to their penises as children. So
children.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Shanae, go ahead.
Think about it. As little boys, you, Corey, Demetrius, you guys had easy access to your penis. Y'all was just playing with it all the time, touching it, getting to know it, and then being able to just learn how to ejaculate, right? Women, young girls don't have that same access. We didn't necessarily have that same privacy. And a lot of women don't know how to masturbate. They don't know their bodies. They don't know how to respond to sexual stimuli. So when you now are an adult woman and you are now engaging in sex with a man, you're relying on him to provide you with that awareness of yourself. And you don't have that awareness for yourself. So if you are relying on somebody who doesn't know you and you don't know yourself, then you're not going to be able to do it. So what you have to do is be able to learn how to manipulate your body and understand what feels good. There's something called a sexual response cycle. And that is where you are understanding where you are in sexual pleasure. And it's not just a physical thing. It's definitely a mental and emotional thing. Because if you're not in the mental space and the emotion, and again, this is why it's harder for women. We have to be mentally, emotionally, and physically intact, in tune, in order to have that whole stimulation go. It's not just about the physical.
For sure.
Men can go on that, mechanical thing. It's not about that with us. And if we can't gravitate towards that all spiritual, all the shit has come to the fucking moon type of moment, it's not going to happen. So the first part to answer that question is for women to learn their bodies.
Well, Shania, just to follow up on that, you're absolutely right? And I've had ladies tell me, because we have these discussions, I've had ladies tell me that, they don't masturbate, they can't because they don't have that type of connection with the inanimate object, right? They're saying, I don't have the intimacy, I don't have the, that what you were talking about. So how, when you were talking about know yourself, how do you get that and still have that, same feeling so that they can reach that orgasm like you're talking about?
It's a mental picture. You have to paint the mental picture. You have to paint it. Like, for instance, there are different types of orgasm for men and women, but you have a clitoral. Most women will climax easier with clitoral stimulation, and if you use a vibrator or a toy or something like that, that will help. Some women don't necessarily relate to just using their fingers. Some people don't like using toys. It's about practice. It's about trying to figure out what feels good to you. So if you start with your fingers and trying to actually understand the anatomy of a woman, what parts of your vulva, not just your vagina, because the vagina is the part that goes inside. It's not everything. You have to be able to understand what feels good. You have to play with it. That's the whole point of playing with it. Figure it out. What feels good? What feels smart? Touch other parts of your body, because again, it's not just your vagina. Women are very, very sensual. It's not just your pussy. It's your breast. It's your arms. It's your mind. You have to figure out how to feel good inside.
Okay. So what would you, well, I got two questions. What are some of the craziest things you've heard? Like the kinkiest things that people bring to you? And for the guys that are listening, tell us the two things that, or the whatever, how many that we can do to improve our sex life immediately, and how we can bring more pleasure to our partner immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, give us the cheat code.
Okay, so which part do you want to answer first? The kinkiest stuff or the cheat code?
Yeah, let's talk about that, and let's see what the hell's going on out in the world. I'm sorry, people are texting me questions for you.
Okay, so let's talk about kinky, right? So the business that I own is K&KY, which stands for Know the New Kinky You. And the purpose of the business is to help people understand that kinky is relative. So, you have people who only like to have sex on the bed, in the dark, missionary with the lights off.
Okay.
Anything beyond that is considered kinky for that person. Then you have other people that are pissing on themselves. You got electrodes. I love my friend. He invented like this freaky way to have piss play. You go to the dollar store, you buy a shower curtain, you put it on your bed. You ain't got to worry about sheets changing, buy cheap sheets. This is, but it works for him. It works for him. I'm
lost. What is the point where he needs a shower curtain? How's this guy doing? Tell us that.
He's peeing on people.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Lord.
Yeah.
So he's lying in the bed.
That way you don't have to go to the bathroom and do it in the shower.
Right. Now I've seen the where they sell the plastic like tubs, like you can fill them with stuff, and like so you don't have to clean up.
Exactly. It's
people like to do like creams or whatever, so
yes,
you don't have to clean it up later.
Exactly. It's convenient. You just kind of ball it all up. It's like that plastic lining that you have on your table at Thanksgiving. All the trash is done. You just ball it all up and throw it away.
Grab it up and throw it. That's why I went at Lover's Lane, I think.
Well, Sean, we're learning a lot about you today.
Hey, don't all women go to Lover's Lane?
I bet.
Right.
I suppose.
Since you brought up pee, I have a good question, right? Because since you brought up the pee thing, this is something that a lot of people debate upon, and it has to do with women, right? Female ejaculation, better known as squirting, right?
Oh,
Shani, tell us, is it pee or is it not? I've heard both sides of the story. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. Let me get it. You guys, tell me what you think.
It is both. The difference is because it comes out your urethra, and then it's like, our little vaginal canal, and then it's the fluid, but it contains hormones in it that you don't find in urine. So it's urine fluid with ejaculate sexual, hormones.
Yeah, ain't nothing but pee. Y'all have me fooled. Y'all have me fooled.
It's not pee, bro. It's not pee.
Hey, Corey, that ain't nothing but pee.
It's not
out of the pee hole.
It comes out of your pee hole.
It ain't nothing but pee.
But it's not pee.
Girl,
That's the scientific answer.
Hey, Shanae, if a girl started that nonsense with me, I'm throwing her ass out of my house. They're peeing
That's
on my
why
bed.
you buy the plastic sheets.
Right. Hey, D, you don't like, wait. D, you don't like that? Because most guys really see that boosts their ego when a girl starts to,
Let me just say this. My lovemaking must be trash. Because I ain't never had a girl that start peeing. I ain't never had that. I ain't never had
you don't know what you're missing, brother.
And listen, every woman is capable of it. That's what they don't understand. If you Women find it hard to orgasm. Women find it hard to ejaculate, but every woman is capable of it.
Well, I must be trash because I ain't brought nobody to that point where they start.
But you're certified. You're certified.
So let me tell you something. This is what I've come to terms with. I'm really good at the basics. I'm not really, you know how everybody's running around. I'm a freak. I'm this, I'm that. I'm just really good at the basics. I'm really super good at the basics. And I don't know if I have any interest in going any further.
Now, what do you call the basics, brother? What do you call the basics?
Well, I mean, I think you're getting a little bit too personal now. But
hey, man, we are slightly inappropriate, man. This is the forum for it.
Well, let me just say this. I would be willing to say that 99.3% of the women that have engaged in sexual activity with me left happy.
How do you know?
How do I know? Well, I take a poll.
That goes into the second question that you asked me about how to have better sex. It's about communication. How is it that you know that that person is enjoying what it is that you're doing? If you haven't talked to them, you haven't asked them, do you enjoy being kissed on your neck? Do you enjoy a massage? Do you enjoy dirty talk? Do you enjoy just straight fucking? Do you enjoy aggression? Do you enjoy passion? What do you want?
Well, I tell you something. All jokes aside, I don't know when. I don't know when it changed. But one day I just woke up and had zero desire to be with anyone that I didn't care about. Like, I just don't. Like, back in the day, only thing you needed to be was physically attractive to me. And that was enough to cause an action out of me. Now that means very little. Like, I don't know. I'm capable of doing some things I would have never thought that I was, as far as restraining myself and just kind of being chill. So I'm cool. I guess I've grown up. I don't know what the hell to call it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? But
caring about a person doesn't have anything to do with knowing what they want in bed.
Well, because I care about people, I want to know everything about them. So by the time I get to that point, we've had those conversations, and I've done everything that I can do to make someone feel comfortable and safe and loved and cherished and all that. So we can have those kind of conversations without it being a barrier. So I think I'm poised, and Tisha looks like she's asleep. I look like I feel like I'm poised to be a good partner in all ways, not just sexually. I mean, sometimes I wish it was like the old days when the wind blows. Let's make it work. But it's I don't know. Has it changed for you, Corey, as you've gotten older?
I mean, of course, you want to be with somebody that's special all the time, and you want to make them feel special. So, I mean, I feel you. I understand what you're saying.
Sinead, Corey's still a horn dog. I mean, when the wind blows, he catches an erection. I've just totally moved into another phase of my life. Like, if I don't like you, I don't want to be with you physically. We could just kick it and talk crazy, whatever. But I'm not. I'm cool. I'm not really in a rush. I'm looking for the bigger picture, I guess, is where I'm at. And I hate it sometimes. I wish it could be like the old days where it's like, oh, wow, But it takes more to get my attention than physical stuff, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're getting old. That's what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah.
You're on that Viagra train. That's what you're saying.
But I've been, and Coach, help me out, okay? You know how some guys, like, my friend, I got a couple of friends that are listening, like Daryl, my best friend. Daryl's my best friend, Daryl Pearson. He was listening. I don't know if he's still listening. But we really started adult behavior at a very, very, very young age. Okay. And I think because we started so young, and then I went into the entertainment business for 20 years. And it was like, I mean, having sex was like taking a glass of water, honestly. And I just think that perhaps is it possible that I burnt out on it? I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm really capable of saying no to some situations where most can't. So, Coach, put me in the game. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, with that very limited background information.
Ask me a couple of questions if you need.
Okay. So the basic premise is that we do what makes us happy.
Okay.
Right? So if you do something and it doesn't make you happy, you're going to feel shitty about doing it. So you're not going to put all of your enthusiasm into doing that task, whatever it is. It doesn't have to just be sex, whatever it is. Nobody wants to take out the fucking garbage. Nobody wants to wash the dishes, but you do it because you need to do it. It's not enthusiasm unless you go into it with some type of mindfulness that you're like enjoying the water, enjoying the soap, enjoying the air from the door to the trash can. You have to go into it with a purpose. So if you go into sex and you're just like, I'm just doing it to fucking do it, I just want to bust a nut, you can do that by yourself. So why engage somebody else into the purpose except for the fact that you want to? You know, you have to go through life and go through anything that you do with a purpose. And if you don't, then you're not going to get gratification from it. So you have now gotten to a point in your life where you value those moments a little bit more than you did when you were a little younger, right? It was just something to do. So you value your time, you value your energy, you value your presence, you value all of the energy that you give to another person. So that's why you say it's not worth doing it for the sake of doing it because I don't have to. You do it now because you want to.
Right. Now, Coach, I got another question. This could be a little controversial.
Hey, D, before you dominate the whole segment with Shani, the rest of us would like to get a little word in edgewise as well. I think Sean had a few questions.
I'm sorry.
I think Sean had a few questions she wants to get in there, brother.
Sean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had a few fun questions. All right. Okay. All right.
This is wine. The lady sent over this wine. It's all crazy. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to skip that one for now. Now, when is it appropriate? When do you think it's appropriate for someone to send nudes in a relationship? And when they've met someone?
When is it appropriate?
When do you think it's appropriate?
When the discussion has been had. It's the
I
same
vote for the first hour.
Don't know.
Worry.
I mean, I can tell you a story. I had a guy, this was years ago, I promise you, years ago. And I'm sitting at a bar with some friends, and this was a coworker actually. And he sent me a picture of his dick. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then immediately after, he sent me a picture of his ejaculate on his dick.
Oh, whoa.
No.
That's TMI.
I was both shocked and appalled at this fucking picture because one, no, I didn't ask for it. Two, I didn't need to see that. And I don't want to know that much about you. So unless we've had that banter back and forth to say, hey, show me a pic. Let me see it. I want to know what it looks like. Don't send it to me. It's when it's asked for.
I definitely feel like when it comes to men, when it comes to men and women, it's like two-edged sword because, like you said, guys, we're visual, right? So you can women can make a mistake and send us a nude, and we like, whoa, we happy, right? If we do that to women though, if they don't ask for it, and I know several women that said that, they're like, if we don't ask for it, do not send me. No, I don't want to see your dick. I don't want to see none of that. Girls don't like that stuff unless they ask for it. But guys, we'll take that jump any way we can.
Yeah, it's almost automatic block for me.
Unless as women, if we ask for it, please, all day, every day, send us your V, send us your chest, send us your whatever. If we've asked for it. Men, y'all are thirsty. Y'all like this shit, so y'all don't care. Y'all are trolling IG looking for titties and ass. So y'all ain't gonna be mad if somebody sends you a picture.
Well, coach, I want to say this, and I'm not trying to be anything. This is honest truth, and Corey could co-sign. Me and Corey have known each other. We worked together in the past, and we were upper. Just forget it. I new pictures to me. I used to get them in like 10 minutes, like literally. And it's just Corey.
This brother, he is the king. He's the king of getting news. He would get news. He was like, "Hey man, just met this girl. She's she's about to send me something." I'm like, "Brother, what is your secret?" I used to like, "What is you doing?" Now you get the girl send you they naked pictures and you just met them.
Now this is the thing. I stopped accepting new pictures because I really understood that it was a serious thing for women.
I'm trying to stop my video.
What the hell happened? I think LaShawna's video stopped. Coach, are you still there?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Coach,
back.
now this is the thing. I've never had a conversation about videos or nudes or any of that. I just simply asked a question. I didn't have any secret like thing. I just said, "Hey, can you send me a picture of blah, blah, blah?" And 90% of the time I got it. And then at a certain point, I just wasn't interested anymore. I stopped being interested like 5 years ago. But up until then, it was like people didn't care. They would just send them. I don't know. Maybe it was something I was saying that I don't remember, or maybe they liked me. I don't know what it was. But back when this whole new thing happened, I would get them pretty easily, like really fast.
All right, let's go to Sean's next question. Sean, what's the next question?
What's the next question?
All right, this little scenario everyone can weigh in on. Okay, you're in a sexual relationship with someone, and you find out they're your third cousin. You're the only one who knows. What do you do?
Whoa, Sean, wait a minute. Are you talking about some incestual stuff? We have a sex therapist, a sex coach on the line, so I figured why not have some fun today.
All right. And Tisha, you've been very quiet.
Wait, let me start off with this. Sean, has that happened to you? Let me ask you that.
Absolutely not. Inquiring minds want to know. I thought it'd be fun to ask. I was actually reading something recently where it happened. So that's what prompted me to ask it.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Back in the day, long time ago, man, that happened to me. So it's nothing wrong with it. It happened to me.
How'd you handle
it didn't get to the point of sex, but I was liking this girl, right? And it was back in the day, I was thinking I was still in high school at the time, but you know what I'm saying? I was liking this girl. She lived around the corner from me. And man, she was fine, and all of my boys was on her and everything. And I was about to talk to her. And so I went home and I told my mother, God rest her soul, mama. But I told my mother, like, "Hey, man, this girl, I really like her." And I told her name, and mom was like, "That's your cousin, boy." And I really had to contemplate not making that move anyway. I'm telling you, that's how bad she was.
All right, and Tisha, what would you do?
Thanks, Corey.
Okay, so at what age, if this happened, if I was kicking someone and come to find out they were my third cousin?
All right, let me set it up for you. Let's say you start dating someone 2 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. You were madly in love with them to the point where it was serious. Mm-hmm. And then you decided to go and tell your mom and whatever that you were in love with the guy, and you find out he was your third cousin. How would you handle that today?
We'll have to have one more rendezvous, and then I have to cut it off.
All right, Coach Shani, what's your advice on that?
The scenario just speaks to something different, like how we don't know our families as well as we should, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I'll give you my personal background. I have 4 sisters, 5 sisters total. right? And luckily they're all girls. If these were dudes, it would be a problem, right? So my father, I'm his oldest, and he has 4 other daughters. And then I have my mother and I have a sister. So we're good. Those 4 other chicks, I don't really know like that. So they were dudes, and I was out in the street. I could easily be fucking somebody that I was related to because I don't know that, right? The problem is, if you don't know your family, you don't know who you're related to, you could be fucking anybody.
Exactly.
And you just don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the problem. Know your family. At least do your best to know names of people that you can. But by the time you get to 3rd cousin, you might be good.
All right, Coach, I got a question. Okay, so I'm going to ask you like I asked Antasia. Right now, today, at your present situation, you've been dating a guy for 2 years. You feel like it's serious. You feel like he's the one. You go and talk to your uncle or your mom or whatever, and you find out Corey's your cousin, 3rd cousin. What do you do?
I just said, by 3rd cousin, you could be good. I'm like 3rd, 4th. By the time we all related somewhere down the line.
Exactly.
So your 3rd cousin.
Related.
So
I don't worry about
just so 3rd cousin, you keeping the party rolling.
But listen, my 2nd cousin I know. My 3rd cousin I don't know. So I need to. We gonna get some medical tests done to figure out, if there's some type of imbalances that can happen, things like that. But it depends. If I was gonna marry that man, this is me personally, I might be a little off. But if that was 3rd cousin, 4th cousin, 5th cousin, hopefully, you down to I'm trying to stretch it as far as possible. But
Okay.
if we happen to be related, but we are just
Okay.
love is love. Shit,
All right.
just don't bring the babies involved.
So if you went to the family reunion and you saw the most beautiful man you've ever seen, and he's your
At the family
cousin.
reunion.
Yeah, the family reunion.
I know.
We ain't telling them dates and family reunions now.
Not at the family reunion. If I happen to bring him to my family reunion and everybody's like, hey, then I was like, why y'all ain't saying nothing in the first place? Why the fuck I'm just finding out about this dude?
right.
Y'all knew who he was. I should know who he is. Why is that?
Keep in mind, I'm gonna hop in here for a sec because I wanted to make sure I got this right. So a 3rd cousin, keep in mind, is so you have your 1st cousin, which means you go up twice. Your parents are different, but the grandparents are the same. 2nd cousin, you go up 3 times. So parents, grandparents are different. Great grandparents are the same. So for a 3rd cousin, you're going back to a great grandparent that you have in common. I mean, like somebody said, at some point in time, we're all hooked in together somewhere.
Exactly. You're all family and you come down to it.
We all family.
I mean, you get down to it, we're all living in Kentucky. It's just
Absolutely.
Okay, Sean, I know you had another question.
We go with that. Okay. All right. Now here's the question. I'm gonna kind of add on to this. Okay, the question was, do guys like their nipples sucked during sex? And then ladies, do you suck guys' nipples during sex? Now, the extension to this question is that and this is particularly for Shanae, what's the strangest erogenous zone that you've heard about? Because you're a sex coach, so you hear people talking about it. People think of erogenous zones and they think of our certain parts, and I know people have other erogenous zones. It might be their ear. It might be the back of their neck. It might be their hand. So what have you heard?
Nothing really is strange. I mean, the skin. I mean, skin is sensitive, right? And so you touch the right part of your body the right way. It's whatever. You can that back part of your knee. If you get that part real good, you can. If somebody's licking up the back of your leg and they get that part, and that shit.
I knew this guy that this part of his arm was hot.
I'm telling you, this spot like this. this is a tickle spot, but like if my daughter kisses me right here, I start laughing regardless of what the hell happens. She can kiss me anywhere else. And this right here is gonna make me goddamn lose it. But if the dude is trying to find some place to stimulate, I'll let him figure it out. You kiss wherever the hell you want, all over the goddamn place, and you figure it out until we find a spot together. Because what works for him, it works for me. We gonna make sure it works.
Yeah.
But to add on to that, just really quickly, the anus is a place that if you get it good, great.
Now you're going into last week's discussion. Last week we already had this discussion. We don't want to open that Pandora's box one more time.
I'm just saying, one day we'll talk about the P spot. You know what that is, right?
No. What is that?
The prostate.
Oh, geez.
That's the male G spot, bro.
The male G spot.
Corey, you're revealing a lot right now.
It's called
I'm almost certified, baby. I'm almost certified.
Okay.
And men are scared of it.
Well, oh God.
I think it makes them gay.
It makes them gay.
No, the men think it makes them gay.
No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. I think that
So you don't think having anal play for a man makes them gay?
It's only gay if there's two men. That's not gay if it's you and your girl. That makes you a total freak if it's you and your girl. It doesn't make you gay. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't think that. I
don't think it's gay either. I don't think it's gay if you're doing something with your girl. However, if you're taking like a 12-inch freaking strap on.
Well, hold on a second.
That might be a little tendency.
Again, like I said last week, if you use how can I say this properly? If you use a apparatus that is in the shape of a male penis, and you're a man to pleasure yourself, you're treading along a gay line.
There you are.
Now, if you're with your girl and there's no, like I said last week, if it's just you and your girl, that's personal thing. But
hey D, get back to Sean's question real quick, because we're the only two guys on the panel. I mean, do you like having your nipples sucked, as she had so eloquently described? Do you like that or what?
Well, guys, you guys are taking me to a place of very personal, and this is like my second bottle of wine. Hey, Mary from Plum Market, thank you for sending over the wine. I'm having a great time with it. But to answer that question, absolutely, I do. That is something I personally enjoy immensely, to the point where, we can cross the line of pain and pleasure. Try to kill me, because the more I like it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's something I'm into.
Yeah, because I know some guys, man, just, talking from the anal perspective, some guys think that's gay.
What, twisting your nipples, or?
I mean, just like having your nipples licked, or I know guys that don't play that, brother. They don't.
That's why I asked.
Licked or none of that.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I'm with you, Dito. I think it's great. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
The nipples are a very sensitive area, which, in the right circumstance can provide a lot of pleasure. I personally like it. Twist them, act like you hate me, and try to kill them. I don't. The more pain, the better for me. That's just my thing. And I'm never going to admit this again, but I've had 2 bottles of wine.
It's being recorded, so we'll always be able to reference it.
Well, it is what it is. We're on quarantine, so let's just make it happen. So, go ahead.
I said this is Quarantine Talk After Dark.
There it is. Slightly Inappropriate. That's the name of the podcast.
Is that something you enjoy, Corey?
What's that?
Your nipples.
Yeah, your nipples.
Hey, you know what? I don't really mind being licked anywhere, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ, Corey. We're just focusing on one area.
I said I don't mind. I don't mind, brother. I answer your question. I don't mind.
All right, Sean, what's your next question? Corey's going to get us thrown off the goddamn interview.
Okay. Shanae, what foods would you recommend? What are the best foods to use to incorporate in sex, especially during quarantine, since people are stuck inside the house?
Right. And so I'm trying to think of the term for it. I know it, and for whatever reason, it's not coming to my head, but there's this whole fetish that is around food, and you use your senses. So like you can use soda and different textures, peanut butter, you put it all over, like you use food to create different sensations, right? So if you're talking normal, well, talking like people who use honey, ice, mints, chocolate, things like that. But I can't think of the term. I don't know what it is right this very second, and I'll make sure I send it to you guys. But when you watch these videos, people use food as this whole sexual stimuli. It's a fetish, and it's fucking crazy. Like when I watch the video, it's like you're aroused by the fact that you're using food. And I don't mean like eggplant and shit like that.
How they'll have like a carving of I don't know where it could be an orange or something, and it's shaped like a certain part, shaped like a vagina, and they'll do certain things to it. It looks just like, I know what she's talking about.
You know, just for the record, I'm going to remember all of this about you guys later. I'm going to bring it up later. All the stuff that you're revealing right now, I'm going to use it later against you. So,
all right, I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if this works because I personally haven't tried it, but remember the Girls Trip movie where they use the grapefruit?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I was saying, speaking of food, that grapefruit situation.
It's grapefruit, or I've heard where people will take a cucumber and slice it, and they'll like warm it up so it's a little bit pliable, and they'll use that to help masturbate a dude. So it's like you use food as different tools. So either you're using it to massage, using it to taste, using it to, some people like actually eating while they're having sex. So, there's a lot of different things that you can do with food.
So let me ask you this, Shanae, because we're on the food topic, right? And I've heard this from other specialists in your field. But if you eat certain foods, does that make you taste better? Men and women.
Yeah.
And what foods should you eat to make you taste better?
So, of course, I'm sure that you guys have all heard that pineapple will help women. Pineapple, watermelon, fruits, the very sweet things. Asparagus makes your sperm taste like shit. So if you want to get some head, don't eat asparagus. Smoking and alcohol. So the wine that you're drinking right now is not helping with your sperm taste. So
it's not helping.
What about for the ladies?
Same.
What about alcohol for the ladies? Does that make the ladies taste good or not?
Yeah, I mean, well, with again, lots of water, citrus, fruits, things like that will help with the way that your ejaculate tastes.
And that's both men and women?
Say that again.
I said, is that both men and women?
There are actually different foods that impact men and women differently. Like red meat is not great for men. Specifically, fruits are better for women. But yeah, I have a list. I can send it to you.
Please, I'd like to know that.
Pebbles are amazing.
What'd you say?
I heard Fruity Pebbles are amazing.
You heard Fruity Pebbles. Clean that up.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that. I'll have to try it though.
Coach, I got a question for you. And Coach, I hope I don't offend anybody that may be listening. Yeah, but this is a serious question that's been bothering me for a number of years. With all the pressures that women put on men for sex.
Is that the way you want to start that question?
That's right. I'm not
we outnumbered here, D. We outnumbered.
Well, no, that's okay because we can fight this. We can win, Corey. This is the problem I have. with all the pressures women put on men. They talk about the size of our genitalia. They talk about stamina. They talk about a million other things that they blame us for not doing, not being this or not being that, right? How come it's so hard for a guy to find the proper fellatio? I mean, it's ridiculous. Coach, please help me out with that. Why is it so hard for women to just do one thing? One thing. And guys, please comment if you agree with me. This is bullshit. That we have to deal with the subpar performances. Coach, help me, please. And I know I'm going to take some arrows for this, but I know I'm not the only one. Corey, do you feel like that? Be honest, Corey.
Hey, man, you're young.
That's okay.
Smart today.
I'll walk this dark path alone. But Coach, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Help me out. Why is it so hard? It seems like a simple mechanical thing to do.
Well, she already answered that question. She already said that mind has to be stimulated and all of that. So you never know, or you never know. You could be tasting like a bag of saltine chips for too much wine. Who knows?
I gotta tell you, guys. I gotta tell you this funny comment that Mia Grant said. Mia Grant said that I'm tipsy thanks to Mary from Plum Market. And she's not wrong, but please, Coach, help me out.
I just told you.
I would have to try to qualify that question. Okay. Is it everybody that you encounter that is no good, or is it?
I would say 7 out of 10 is subpar. Subpar. Like just the thought of it is better than the actual execution of it. And guys, please jump online. Don't be scared. Help me out. I'm trying to make life better for us all. Don't be scared. Help me out.
Okay. So again, I would say that it goes back to the earlier part of where we were talking about communication, right? So it's the same thing for women. If women are having receiving oral sex and it's no good, and they just don't tell the person that is giving it to them what they can do better, then it's still going to be no good. So if you have received subpar, that's because it worked with her on somebody else and they enjoyed it perhaps, but that's not what you're into. So you need to vocalize and say, hey, I like it a little slower. I like it a little faster. I like it more concentrated on the head. I like when you suck my balls. I like, when you rub it and open your mouth. Say what you want. That's the only way you're going to get what you want. Because if you say she's subpar and you don't encourage her or guide her or help her be better, she's going to remain subpar.
Okay.
So in that conversation, what she's basically saying is closed mouths don't fed. Right.
Right.
Moving right along.
Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. All right, Sean, what's your next question?
I think that was it for my questions.
I think we had one about pubic hair, right?
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about that. Okay, so that's for guys and girls. Well, this is mainly for guys. Yay or nay? Because back in the day, I know people, now so many women get the whole Brazilian wax, and back in the day, women that's kind of shaved enough to go to the beach. Barely. She wouldn't scare people. Right. So what do you guys feel about that? Guys, what do you feel about it? And ladies too. Like, what do you do?
Well, hair is
What you saying?
I mean, guys, like, how do you feel? Do you hair or no hair?
Well, let's go.
Or
Since
some
we have a good,
or
since we
not,
have a
and
good
then
panel, since we have a good panel, Sean, of ladies and guys, let's poll. So for the ladies, do you prefer your men manscaped or not au natural? Just let it be free. What do you guys prefer? We'll ask all the ladies. Sean, you go first.
Me? Oh no, go ahead.
You said you prefer the man?
You be manscaped. I don't want hair in my teeth.
Okay, so when you say manscaped, do you mean eliminate all of the hair or just trim it where it's comfortable?
I mean, it could be trimmed, but trim to bald. It doesn't matter to me, but I don't want a bush. Again, I don't want hair in my teeth.
Let me ask you ladies this. You guys been dating a guy, you're getting to the point where it's going to get physical, right? You guys get, it's time to do the deed. This guy doesn't have any hair at all.
Look like a
wait a minute, is he shaved or is he waxed?
Well, he's waxed. There's no hair. How do you feel about that?
That's why I asked for the description. I need to know.
Okay, coach, there's no hair available.
Waxed? No. Not for me. Up to you. Personal choices.
And Tisha, what about you? Is that a deal breaker?
Just text me and said that sometimes when the hair is gone, you get 2 inches more of something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
I think I heard that.
All right, D, it's our turn, buddy. It's our turn. So as a man, do you prefer your lady to be waxed or do you like a little bush, brother?
Well, me personally, I want the Don King look. I hate that wax. I don't like it. The only thing I don't like is, when like you get a little ridiculous when you start your thigh, your inner thigh starts growing hair. That's stupid. But other than that, I like it natural.
Or wolf.
I don't like it. To me, I like it natural. And I'll tell you why. And then I'm gonna be short because I've drank 2 bottles of wine and this is ridiculous. The hair just gives you something else to admire. That's all. I just like it. That's God's way. He made it natural like that. That's all I'm saying. Boy, you take over.
I mean, me personally, I prefer the no hair, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Shani. I don't want anything in my teeth, number one. And then, from a cleanliness standpoint, I just feel like, hair tends to hold odor. And
this is the thing.
So I prefer no hair.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna post this article. There's an article in Beautiful Machine magazine that discussed that. And the hair is actually a protectant to bacteria getting to the actual vagina.
It is.
And when you cut the hair, you open yourself up to more bacteria. It's the exact opposite of what people think. Coach, Can you verify that?
Yes, but it's also about aesthetics, and women like to look a certain way. Men like to look a certain way. And as long as I think that you're not walking around outside naked all the time, that exposure to extra bacteria is probably limited to what's in your pants.
Okay.
So speaking of that, what's in your pants, Doc? And I've had this conversation. What do you say for ladies that go without pants? Is that an extra exposure or no?
Free balling? I mean, what are we talking about? Like
exactly, exactly, and especially with dresses. Like, is that
if it's hot outside, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, if it's hot.
I think panties are a unnecessary evil.
As are bras, by the way.
Absolutely, I don't think they're necessary unless there's an overriding reason. And that's all I'm gonna say.
But my question is it harmful to women? Like, is it from a bacteria standpoint? Is it harmful if women do that? Because I know you just said you're opening yourself up to certain things. So if you're in a dress and it's hot or whatever, should you or shouldn't you scientifically go do it or not?
As a non-scientist, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to answer that question, but I will say, from personal experience, I have not been exposed to any extra bacteria from
Okay, that's what I
during
want
the
to know.
summer with a dress on.
That's what I want to know. So, ladies, feel free to take your drawers off. That's all I want to know.
And ladies, listen. There's nothing. Just for a male point of view, in the summertime, right? When you're wearing those linen dresses, there's no need for panties.
I agree.
There's no need for it.
Thumbs up.
This isn't no
No
need.
need.
That's all
So
I'm saying.
from what I hear scientifically is that it needs to breathe sometimes.
I agree.
So
Let
you need
the
to
air circulate.
especially in the summer if it's hot, that it's actually more harmful for it to be if you're sweating, so if to let it breathe as much as you can, it actually is better for that area, is better for the womb, and yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that, Sean. Amen.
Sean, you're the real MVP.
Not saying this all the time, but there are times you let it breathe.
And Tisha, what do you have to say? You always got something brilliant to say.
I agree. I feel like, God made for us to breathe.
Exactly. Ladies, rebel this summer. To hell with Victoria's Secret. The Commando. Corey, let's start that movement.
We start a new movement, baby. We start a new movement.
We done told the secret.
Now, Coach, so tell us, has there been anything that you found a little out there? As a sex coach, have you been shocked?
So when I was getting my certification, I had to take what was called a SAR. I had to attend a SAR as a sexual attitude and reassessment type of thing. So they exposed you to a whole bunch of stuff, because what you don't understand is that there's shit out here sexually that people are into that you have no fucking clue about.
Yeah.
So there was.
We talking white people, right?
Whoa! Come on, Corey.
Hey, I just gotta put it out there, man.
Wait a minute.
Their freak flag is a little bit higher than ours. I'm just saying.
Dave, jump in here, defend your people, man.
Now, wait a minute.
I've been taking a drink.
Corey, get your ass kicked off this platform. We're a multicultural magazine. People are not the bullshit, Corey.
I will grant him this much. The vast majority of people that I have seen at kink balls or anything like that, it's a little light on the melanin count. It's not.
I like that.
Thanks, Dave.
The funniest part to me is black people. We always talk about how big of freaks we are. When you a big freak till you go to one of those conventions. You see what white people into, and you would quickly realize you are not a freak.
Hey, Dave, pop in for a second and give us the update on what people are saying online.
Give me just a sec. I gotta hop over to it.
Hey, Dave,
are you at home?
Yeah.
Back there?
Dave, your goddamn house looks like a goddamn club. What
Here, I'll give you the wide angle view. Hold on.
Look at this guy's bar.
There we go. There's the wide angle view.
Oh, wow.
Dave, can you text us your address? We're coming over.
Yeah, she's from there.
After quarantine, it's over Dave's house.
After quarantine, let's do a turn up at Dave's house.
Here we go. We have someone who's chiming in, Yasmin Brown, who says bald dicks makes me think he has crabs. That appears to be the most relevant comment on this topic.
I just, you know what? I just think that's a little too much for a guy. I think a guy should just kind of tame his situation, keep it neat, You know,
Yeah, you're manscaping. You're not salting the earth. Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
It's a low manscaping. You don't want to go full Telly Savalas on it. So you know what I mean? Just keep it neat, and that's it. You know, all this extra where you're getting waxed and all that. I don't know about that.
So let's get some comments. People comment, ladies comment, guys. Do you prefer hair or don't you prefer hair? Leave those comments below. Let us know.
And we'll acknowledge you on our live. I'm a little old school. I'm not afraid to admit that. I've had to come to terms with that, guys. I'm old school. I don't know. I'm just not into this whole new millennial way of doing things. I'm old school. So there it is. All right,
That's
Coach.
all right.
Coach, tell us more. This is fascinating. So, Coach, tell us 3 things that we all can do to improve our sex life immediately. I don't know if you answered that earlier. I asked you that earlier, but tell us 3 things we can do. And tell us from a male perspective and a female perspective. I'm sure Corey needs help.
I do.
So, first is do whatever you can to learn your body, learn what makes you feel good. Because if you learn your body, you know what you like, then you can communicate that out to a partner, right? Second is if you happen to, which means, let me just be clear, masturbate is what I meant the first time. The guys masturbate, y'all. And in fact, a lot of guys, when y'all masturbate, y'all learn bad habits very early in life. So, imagine the scenario where you are a young kid and you're learning how to masturbate and you're just jerking off real quick because you just want to get the feeling done. And so now you're an older person who nuts quick, premature ejaculation, early ejaculation, that's something that you kind of suffer from or you have concerns about, especially if you get like overly excited. And that's because you are regressing kind of back to that feeling of when you were young and you're excited, you want to get the nut and you just go ahead and it's there. So the point is get to know your body, get to understand your sexual response cycle, be aware of how you feel in the moment, and then you'll be able to translate that over to somebody when you get into partner sex. Next, when you get into partner sex, this is where your mouth is more than just a tool for eating, and I mean eating food or eating pussy or dick, whatever it is. You have to be able to communicate those things that you like, and especially things that you don't like. So if you have subpar head and you're getting subpar head, say something. She doesn't fucking know. She thinks she's doing a great job, especially in people. Not everybody is responsible. Everybody's not a moaner. Everybody's not a screamer or a yeller. Or you have to be able to kind of communicate that out. So if you're not getting the response that you think you should be getting verbally or by body language, ask the question. Don't be afraid to ask, because some people will never open their mouths. But don't ask out of fear. Ask out of desire.
I got a question for all the guys. I got a question, and this is for everyone. But I want to hear from the guys that are listening. I don't know about you guys, but how do you feel about when you're engaging in sexual activity from a fellatio point of view when a woman, I don't know how to say this, Doc. I try to be so nice. How do you, when a woman spits on your penis, some kind of lubrication? Corey, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to follow you, brother. I'm trying to follow you. Keep going.
Have you ever been engaged in that particular act and a woman uses saliva, an enormous amount, to create lubrication? I hate that.
How else is she supposed to lubricate it?
Yeah. I don't know what else she's supposed to do.
Well, hold on a second. I'm talking about, Corey, I'm just going to say it because there's no nice way to say it. You never had a woman like drop a big glob of saliva at one time? I think that's the nastiest thing on the planet. You know what I'm talking about, Corey?
No, I can't say I've ever had that experience.
You never had a woman spit on your penis to create lubrication?
No. Nah.
Okay.
Not like that. Nah.
Well, maybe I've been dealing with some scum of the earth. I don't know.
I have a
I
question.
feel bad for any of those chicks that's looking at you right now.
I have a
Go ahead, Antusia.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Too much. Okay, so for the people who are not engaging in sexual activity, per se, being the vagina and the penis is a muscle, do you believe that you shouldn't go a certain period of time without using the muscle? Or is that something that should be? It's for the
coach?
Yeah, that's for the coach. Good question.
All right, coach. So basically what she's saying is she knocked the dust off of that deal there.
No, what
yes, it's a use it or lose it situation.
Really?
Yes, it's use it or lose it. Whether if you're, let's say you're single, you should still, masturbate regularly. You should still, engage those that region. You should, yes, definitely. You should definitely, because
like Kegels.
if you don't use it, you will lose it. It's a muscle. It's a tool. You forget. You'll have to start the fuck over again. It's not that concept of you're a female and you have a vagina and it's going to close up on you. It's not going to do that, but it's going to hurt like hell the next time you try to do it if you haven't done it in a while.
Now,
go ahead. Friend that she fears that by her not being in a relationship, when she gets in a relationship, she's not going to want to have sex as much as he wants to.
Well, she should continue having sex. I mean, you don't need that's what masturbation is. You don't need a partner to have sex, to be sexual. You can do things for yourself. Masturbate. Look at, and I hesitate to say this, but porn is a entertainment. It's mental stimuli. It's not a teaching tool. It's mental stimuli, right?
Mm-hmm.
You watch a romantic movie, read a book, do something that gets your head into it, get your body into it. Because again, if she's personally not being sexually engaged, then when she does come time to get sexually engaged, it's going to take that much more time to build up. Think of it as a car. When you don't drive a car for a fucking while, it's going to take a long time to start up.
Okay.
I'm with that.
I get it.
I got a question, Coach.
Uh-oh.
If a guy doesn't engage in sexual activity, right? Your penis is a muscle. Am I correct?
Yes.
Does it get smaller?
No.
It doesn't get smaller?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
So let me just give a quick recap here. Coach, basically what you're telling everybody, especially the ladies, is to wear no drawers as much as possible.
Yes.
And get it in as much as you can.
Yes. Sex is good for your health.
Amen. Amen to that.
Sex is good for your health. It is good for you. It helps build up your immune system. It's antibodies in your body. Sex is a great thing. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. It's good for your spiritual health. As long as it's consensual and as long as you're enjoying it.
Right. Sex could save your goddamn life. Let it go.
Why do you think I spent a year and a half studying? I'm like, what? Listen, y'all don't understand. When I was like, I'm going through life and I'm working in IT and I'm doing management shit, and I found out that, there are coaches in the world. Oh, okay. Coaches. People do financial coaching. They do physical fitness. You got all kinds of life coaches, business coaches. When I found out you could be a sex coach, and I'm a Scorpio, so I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I could not believe that I could focus my attention and focus my world on making people have better sex. My fucking life changed.
Coach, I got a question. Coach, I got a question. If it's a little too personal, please stop me. How's your sex life? that you have all this enormous amount of information? Are you getting? I'm just gonna go with the street lingo. Are you getting broke off properly?
The wine is talking. The wine is talking.
I'm sorry. I've drank 2 bottles of wine. Hopefully, I didn't destroy my brand. I'm sorry, guys. Coach, what do you? How has the information that you've learned helped you?
It's helped me become aware of what I want and what I don't want, and being very confident and vocalizing it to the person that I'm with. Because if I don't want to, I'm not going to. You know, there is such a thing as a mood. You know, you are not always in the mood to have sex. That doesn't mean that mood can't change. It doesn't mean that mood can't be influenced in a direction, but it also means that you have to understand the person that you're with. So if I am currently in a state where I'm not in the mood, but you know that, oh, if I just do this, this, and this, oh, I can get her in the mood. Versus if I say something crude and rash, no, that's gonna work against you. So I'm the type of person that says communication. I put it out there. I'm letting you know what works, what doesn't work. You're letting me know what works, what doesn't work. And if we're working together, this shit is awesome. When you stop working together, it's a problem. And it's always gonna be a problem.
You're absolutely right.
Amen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
No, I just said amen. Amen. I'm just, enjoying what you guys to say.
Well, Coach, we only got a few minutes left.
I would say there are a couple suggestions coming in to take your wine away. I'm just saying.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
Wait.
What are suggestions, buddy?
Dave, have we got any other comments about the any other topics, the hair or anything like that? Have we got any more topics? Comments?
The one about the crabs, I think, was probably the best one that was out there.
And that was my girl Yasmin. I love her. Thank you.
Well, Coach and I, tell right now, you got a few minutes left. Can you please tell people how to get in touch with you, what you got going on, what you got coming up? I'm sure people have enjoyed this conversation, so give them a little bit about how they can get a hold of you and what you got coming up. And
well, right now I actually lucked up in everything that I do across social media, which is primarily Instagram, Facebook,